Welcome to Galgotias University e-content platform. I am Dr. Shivendu Kumar Rai, Assistant Professor in Department of Mass Communication. Today, I am going to present a topic from course that is International Affairs and Contemporary Issue for BA in Journalism and Mass Communication program. So, today's topic is International News Flow Imbalance, under which I am discussing Introduction of International News Flow Imbalance, Historical Perspective of News Imbalance, Problems in Global News Flow, some question related to International News Flow Imbalance, and last, discussion on this topic. So, do you know what is the International News Flow Imbalance is about? Developing countries have continuously accused the Western media of bias in their coverage of news affecting them. They contend that news about developing countries is presented in very negative lights, while developed countries enjoy more positive coverage. Part of this imbalance is attributed to ownership and control, whereby developed countries dominate on and control global news flow. Clearly, developed countries have undue technological advantage over developing nations, as their ownership and control sophisticated technologies such as computers and satellites facilitates news flow in real time and with more frequency. Change in the early 1970s with the introduction of computer terminals for news writing and editing, as well as the progressive adoption of satellite transmission by the global news wire in the 1980s. The global news flow controversy has been debated for some times now, and it appears to have been restricted today in the field of international communication. This controversy is predicted on the developing nations' demand for a fair and balanced coverage of the peoples and institutions. In the past few years, communication scholars have tried to reveal the relationship between the news prominence of a country and its physical, economic, political, social, cultural characteristics, such as its size, economic power. Seg Blondheim in 2013 observed that over the year a country's economic strength is the determining factor in assessing its news worthiness. Accordingly, Seg and Blondheim argue that Americans' economic power is considerable factor in its news gain and prominence over the rest of the world. In support of their arguments, they said the economic strength rather than political, social and geographical factors play the particularly crucial role in their news prominence, as well as the presence of international news agencies. It is an acceptable orthodoxy that international news framing and coverage of country significantly influence in the image of nation. It is a major ingredient in shaping opinions, attitudes and beliefs. Conversely, this can affect of people's perception of the index nation in the news items. All of these may have residual effect and unintended consequences. For example, its effects may influence the decisions and international business investors and tourists, most of who rely on such news to a certain order of correct the negative image the Western world make about them. It is therefore safe of argue suggest that each imbalance in the flow of global news and information is a root of call for the new world information and communication order. Briefly, it is the noteworthy to mention that the New World Information and Communication Order NUCO was set up in the 1970s to address the problem of communication imbalance between the West and developing nation. This communication imbalance indicates a wide margin between the developed nation and developing nation in terms of media technology, accessibility to information, information gathering and dissemination. The result is absolute or partial dimension of media system of the developing nation, leading to gradual or outright erosion of culture value of developing nation, and more importantly may lead the deficiency in development information subsidy. Now talk about historical perspective of news imbalance. News imbalance connotes inequality, unfair treatment and unequal flow of mass mediated message from the first world or industrialized countries to the third world, also referred to as underdeveloped or developing countries. It is the one-sided movements of information from the developed to the developing countries. The history of news imbalance can be traced to the colonial era, where developed countries imposed their value on the developing countries. Human and material resources were carted away by the powerful developed countries to the determinants of the third world countries. Even when the transatlantic slave trade was obliged, the developed countries exploited the raw materials from the third world countries to develop theirs. This led to overproduction of consumer goods, which created new market for the sales of the product from these industrialized nations, hence making the third world countries to be ready market for their products, including information and communication. This led to imbalance and inequalities. Global news coverage determinants of international news coverage in US media date back to 1916. In 1965, Rugg examined 12 factors that make an international event newsworthy: frequency, their hold, unambiguity, meaningfulness, consequences, exclusions, continuity, composition, reference to elite nations. Reference to elite people, reference to person and reference to something negative. The concept of importance of international event, distance in terms of geography and culture of event also become an important determinants. Goldanks in 1971 argued the international news coverage imbalance is caused by the difference and imbalance in power relationships among core and peripheral countries. Maintains that since countries were not created equally to be news in international communication, developing countries will have to go through several filters before they make it to the news. However, numerous studies suggest that even the developing countries are also biased in their reported of their Western counterparts. Clearly, this is supported by empirical evidence that reveals that African media system are also guilty of news imbalance. Developing nations also say enormous attention of themselves with little coverage of foreign news. So, students, after talking historical background of global news flow, we will now talk about problems in global news flow. The problems in global news flow do arise due to the nature of information flow, which related with basic principle of freedom of speech and the freedom to hold opinions. It underpins the concept of freedom of information, free flow of information, and balanced flow of information. ICANN 2015 highlights 4 problems associated with global news flow to include free flow, unidirectional flow, vertical flow, and market oriented flow. Developed countries are convincing for a free flow of information, which advocates for the unrestricted movement of mass media message from one country to another. Ideally, the free flow encompasses the right to seek, impact, and receive information. Through sounding positive and free flow concept to considered a flow in international communication flow due to reliance by the Western media on the aspect to right receive information, ignoring other aspects. This gave birth to another international communication flow called the unidirectional flow. The unidirectional flow of news creates an unacceptable imbalance in international communication flow. It was all about a north to south movement of information without any opportunity for exchange and place developing countries only at the receiving end. The controversies associated with this situation degraded to the vertical flow of information. The vertical flow denied the public an opportunity to participate in the production of communication contents. This was the considered a flow because what make news is barely decided by the developing countries, hence subjecting the third world countries to perpetual consumers or end user. Another notable flow in the global flow of information is the market oriented flow. Here media products are seen as mere commodities designed to maximum profit. It emphasizes only the commercialization of media products, diminishing the social service aspect of the media. So student, when I read the international news flow imbalance, then some question will be definitely come in mind. According to my guess, some question can be as follow. First question is, in my mind, what is the global imbalance of international flow? Global imbalance refer to the situation where some countries have more assets than the other countries. Second question is, what are the barriers to the flow of news and information in global communication? Answer is, these including filtering, selective perception, information overload, emotional disconnects, lack of sources, familiarity of credibility, workplace gossip, semantics, gender differences, differences in meaning between sender and receiver, and biased language. Let's examine each of these barriers and next lecture. Third question is, what is news flow imbalance? Answer is, with the result from the comparative analysis, the internet play the major key in the global news flow. Even if these changes in global news flow, the internet could not change the traditional imbalance in media coverage, international news between developed countries and developing countries. Fourth question is, what is the free flow information? Answer is, the free flow information is concept linked to the basic human rights of freedom of speech and opinion. This right includes freedom to hold opinion without interference, to see, receive and impart of information and ideas through any medium regardless of any frontiers. Fifth and last question is, what is quantitative imbalance? Answer is, quantitative imbalance concerns the amount of news flow in both directions, developing and developed. It's argued that most news and information flow from the developed to the another countries, one country to another country. Now I am concluding this lecture on this note that despite the recent growth and unprecedented proliferation of media outlets, global media are still being dominated and controlled by the developed countries of the West, particularly the United States. This is, however, due to its formidable political, economic, technological, and availability of American media, as well as ownership of multiple network and production facilities across of the globe. After almost 40 years further, call to check the imbalance in global news flow, it is obvious that instead of closing the gap between these two sides of the divides, it has rather plummeted with gap getting wider. Effort by developing countries to address the issue of global news flow imbalance seems not to be getting the desired results. As hitherto there still exists undeniable and unequal flow of news from the developed countries to the third world countries. This uneveness has accused a distorted picture of nations to be the thriving image, with other related nationals' view more wearisome each. The facts of developing countries, especially American countries, African countries, are often portrayed in news items that appears negative. These are news that describes disaster, civil unrest, famine, war, murder, accidents, or political crises which reflect badly on developing countries. This, however, call for another UNESCO intervention to encourage developing countries to work toward production of information and communication technologies in order to achieve technological independence and portray a good image about themselves to the rest of the world. The governments of third world nations should encourage investment in the communication sector in order to develop communication facilities that will help launch positive image about them to world and break the dependency on global media. There should also be a place of well articulated communication policies in developing nations in order to help address both national and international communication flow and also encourage local media contents which will be also exportable to the developed countries. So student, there are many books and lecture on this subject and topics, but I am writing the name of some books for your reference. It will be visible on your screens, and these are the reference you may refer for future readings. So I hope this lecture is helpful for you. For any query, please email me on this given email address. Thank you.